Peter. Marco viene da Torino. Marco comes from Turin. He's not that far away.
I understand English. You can keep on going in English.
I keep on talking. Okay. Anna has produced this book called ID, che è un gioco which is a wordplay between the I and the identity. And she has photographed 51, am I right?
Yes.
51 eyes all over the world from quite famous people, usually. And I would start from there. I mean, why and how did the idea come across?
Well, originally it was an album insert for one of Dad's albums, Scratch My Back and I'll Scratch Yours, which was a covers album. And we were discussing sort of how we could show the people who covered him in a unique way. And we thought that to identify them, we'd use something that makes us unique, which was a fingerprint or an eye. And so the beginning...
A book of fingerprints?
Sorry?
You wanted to make a book of fingerprints? You thought about it?
Well, we did eyes and fingerprints like this.
Eye and fingerprint.
Yes,
together. Or fingerprint in the eye,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. But then as I was going, I thought, forget the fingerprints, the eye was much more interesting. So, and then once I'd done those 10 or 12 photographs, I thought, this is an interesting series, I should keep going. And so the idea was born.
What does the single eye reveal from your point of view? What can it reveal?
I think it reveals mainly emotion, what someone's feeling, whether, they're sad, happy, upset. He, doesn't hide emotion very well. I think you can, I could always tell with him what he was feeling through his eyes. Yes, there you go. But I think with a parent and child, it's a very bonding situation when you first look at when you I have children of my own, and when you first look into your baby's eyes and when they open their eyes for the first time, there's a strong connection, and I think it's one of the strongest connections you can have with another human being, looking in their eye, especially a parent and child.
And I asked Peter, what did you see in her eyes? And you gave me a wonderful answer about that.
You should repeat it. You should repeat the answer. Exactly, same answer.
I know, and if I could remember a word of it, I would repeat it very happily. But no, I think the most important thing with the eyes is if someone is awake or asleep.
Someone's, I'm sorry?
Awake or asleep.
Okay, I get that.
No.
Usually, yes.
Yeah. No, but in her eyes, I think she probably has more of my eyes than Jill's eyes, and it's so I think, whatever you say about me, I say about you too. But no, they were very specialized. She had a very difficult arrival, so to connect through the eyes was very important and very powerful.
And Peter, I'll try to do it with the microphone, but in the foreword to the book you do this cool thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and saying that you hide your eyes when you have an act of fear, and you do it with kids. Can you do it for us and tell us why? I mean,
Okay. First, this is participation. So first of all, you have to hide your eyes. Okay. Now I can't see you. Now I can see you. It works. But what's great is when a little kid does this, then they think for sure they're not there anymore. They've disappeared. And it's just very powerful when you have a sense of someone in a room, but you can't see their eyes. There's something missing. I think that's where we go in.
but was it something you did fear, or you were something that you were longing for to see your daddy doing?
Well, I think for a child, it's a game, and it's a lot of fun to suddenly, oh, they disappeared, oh, where they are, So it's a fun game to play when you're a child. But it's, I think there is, studies with babies, at least if you lose eye contact or if you shut your eyes away, they cry. It's leaving you. So.
Yes, because eyes can hide or eyes can show. In the pictures you took, did you discover more things that were hidden or things that enlightened you?
With the photographs that...
Yes.
I think what was interesting to me was that having the camera so, invading someone's space in such an intense way, how they reacted, and that if some people could stare right at the camera and have that interaction and some...
Yeah, most artistic projects, I think I'm a hustler, because we were just trying to bring in people, and they didn't know, maybe they didn't know Anna or didn't know her work. So once she started to do these pictures, then it was much easier, because we could say, this is what it is, are you up for it or not up for it? And mostly people were very generous and participated. I think one or two fell by the wayside, but very few.
They were short sessions, weren't they? I think you mentioned like 15, 20 minutes to do it.
They were very quick. I wanted to make it as easy as possible for the people, so it was an easy ask, as it were.
Was it quick because you just had to take the photograph of the eye? Would it have been longer if you had to like...
Yes, I probably could have easily gone on longer.
Is that just...
Yeah, or got
so
more
quickly.
kind of photographs. But I think because it was so focused and I knew exactly what I wanted to get, it could be quick, because I was sort of and I was using natural daylight, so it was just me, my camera, and that was it. So I could...
Yeah, I used to do it in the mirror when I woke up in the morning, to understand how I felt.
Yeah.
Now I can't see too well, so the left side is a problem to see the right side.
Speaking of which, this picture...
Yeah, he has
remarkably
different eyes.
I mean, again, the two eyes is just like David Bowie cover Heroes. If you look one side or the other side, it's difficult. But what was your reaction from yourself, Anna, when you did this? Because it's incidentally one of the few pictures you have in the book with two eyes.
Yeah, I think I wanted at this point to have one. I actually went closer originally with one eye here, and then I like the difference, as you're saying, between the two eyes, and that it sort of shows the two sides of him. Like I remembered him and think of him as quite a playful prankster, funny guy, and then on the other side quite serious. So I think it for me that was this showed that. And then I wanted to add the other eye for that reason. But
Peter, you must have, you were a virgin at a certain point, weren't you? So you must have met the man personally. Well, how was he? How is he? I mean, he's, one of those modern geniuses with Elon Musk and all these running into space. So how is Richard?
Oh, I've known him for many, many years when we recorded at his studio, the Manor Studios. He gave me a lift up to London in a beaten-up old white minivan, which was his transport, and we've done a few projects like The Elders together. He can be fun. I think he's passionate about doing some good things. He's in many projects. He has this B team and The Elders, Virgin Unite. But he's also a rogue, he can be a prankster, and one time I think he only stayed in business because he wasn't paying us our royalties, because he was always gambling, with the next big project. Now I think he's been successful enough, but he's always been bold and unafraid to try things, which I admire a lot.
In the book.
I'm sure, but the truth is, he lost. I won't say any more.
But apparently you also play tennis with Sting.
Yeah.
And is it... was...
I'm not very good, but he lost too.
Okay, so who's a better player, Robert Plant or Sting? I mean...
Well,
terms of-
when I played Sting, it was a long time ago, and he was doing a lot of yoga, but not a lot of tennis.
His matches was 6 hours, 7 hours.
Yeah. No, I won't go there. But yeah, no, and I think Robert loves his tennis, so he definitely plays more. So I think he would have the edge.
Okay, so you didn't cheat.
Yeah.
I'm glad about this.
You know, I never set up any photo shoot with him really, you know, and there was always a conversation, an interview. At the end, we would take some pictures, right? And but I do remember something that I set up. You were a little girl. You were maybe 4. Mooney, your sister, was 2, something like that, and we were with your mom, and we got your dad in bed, and we took these pictures, an entire roll in black and white, and Melanie came in front of the camera. I remember all this right now, and she was the one that came on stage with you. Yeah, there we go. I'll leave it with Guido now. But it's been always so wonderful, and right now I'm going through all your pictures, Peter. We got to 7,000 so far.
7,000.
Have you found a good one?
Ciao Guido.
So,
Levati la maschera, dai, un attimo solo, dai.
are you familiar with that photo shoot about 20 years ago when Buena Vista was very successful? It was a famous French photographer whose name escapes my mind now, who went to Havana and shot all the musicians, all the old musicians with their eyes closed. And he shot Alicia Alonso, a famous dancer who is blind, with her eyes open. That was a great statement. And I thought about that,
I like that.
looking at your
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah.
So, as a photographer, I have a double question. So, were you tempted to go beyond the eyes? I mean, were you tempted by the body language of your subjects? Did
Yes,
you take
I'm-
more shots? Okay.
No,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, it's interesting because I started off just, the eyes were all I was going to do, and then as time went on, I sort of wanted to take more shots than, can I stand back a minute and get a portrait of you? But I sort of contained myself to focus on the eye also because when I was asking the people to do the photographs, I was saying, I'm just shooting your eye, and so that, there was it's a whole different energy.
Father and father and son actually in this video. The song is very, very emotional, no? We know how emotional Peter can be, and this is one of the most emotional songs that he wrote, I suppose. And the pictures are of the 3 generations of the Gabriels. The Peter, the father, and the son of the Peter. Please tell us what you feel, what you felt then, and what you feel now about seeing those images.
Well, I think it started from the clip you just saw with Dad and his dad doing yoga together. They went on a week together. He wanted to have some time with his father and get the sense of this bond with each other in a way. And so I think from that footage it felt, we could do a video with this, and I sort of thought, well, it'd be nice to have his son in there as well, and so have 3 generations, not just the 2 of them. And and I wanted to then shoot on Super 8 to have that old footage, family feel to it, and we ended up shooting at the studio one day, and also we did it a couple of days at his parents' house, and it was lovely. It was almost just making home movies, like hanging out with your family and doing a home movie. So it was fun to do, and I think because it was me shooting and there wasn't a pressure to it, it came across very warm.
No, it's a lovely personal record, for me now. So I'm very glad that Anna did that.
A lot of people, if you're on the internet, then of course this is on YouTube, a lot of people mention the fact that this video inspired them to take care of their elders in a way, and to reach out to the elders and maybe say the things that they weren't able to say in their lifetime. And I think that's a very precious story. That's a very precious, rewarding story for somebody that inspires that feeling, don't you think?
Yeah, no, I would encourage everyone. I mean, I did a course many years ago. It was called Earhart Seminar Trainings, but it was partly getting people to do the things they were afraid. You know, I think so much of our decision making is based on fear, and quite unnecessarily. So, particularly, you know, with the stuff that you're going to care about when you're dying and you're thinking back, well, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? It's how you were with the people you love most that is really going to resonate. And we don't always get as much time as we would like. And so, you know, after this, I said to my dad that I wanted a week with him, and it was fantastic. There was one point, I mean, he's done yoga for 50 years, and or had done at this point. So it's we thought this two-person yoga where you use each other's bodies to get extra stretch would be a great thing to do. And there was one point when I was leaning forward and it just snapped, and I just burst into tears, you know. And he came and hugged me like I was his little boy again. And I hadn't had that sort of physical contact for many years. And I'm so glad I had that. And I would encourage anyone, you know, if you still have people you love but you may not have forever, go grab them and do what you need to do.
Fantasy, what you want.
We have...
You got to do it. You got to do it.
I know.
You
Somebody
got
has
to
to do it. Somebody has to do it. I know.
And when you
it's a
you
tough
got
move,
to
but
accompany yourself with people who are clever than you are. That's why I'm here with you. So it's yourself.
Yes, it's my. I'm sorry, Peter. I have to ask this because somebody has asked me to ask you.
But you should answer.
You should answer, yes, possibly, if possible. We have a feeling that maybe, coming December, we're in October now, you usually said December, I don't know what year you were talking about, but he asked me to ask you, it's not my idea, it's his idea.
No, it wasn't me, me.
It's his idea, not my idea.
No, it's your idea. You told me I will tell you
No,
that you told me.
we talked about. No. It seems, they say, somebody said that you might be coming back with some music. Is
Yeah, no, I've been working on a lot of music. So just, I had a band in, I think 2 weeks ago, and
usual band or?
it's I had Manu Katché on drums this time.
Wow! Yes.
But it's So we've started 23 things, and I
23.
I think,
A double.
no, I want
Triple.
but but there's a lot of stuff there that we're working on.
Because you've done a lot of things in your life besides music. No, you've dealt with important issues, amnesties. That association that you're doing now, the Elders.
Oh yeah.
What is that exactly?
Well, the dream was to try and get a little more. A lot of the problems that we're looking at now, like climate change, like a pandemic, these are global. And the institution besides the UN, we don't really have many effective global entities. So, but national solutions aren't going to solve the problems. They've got to be global. So this was an idea to try and get people who had respect from the world for leading extraordinary lives to work as a sort of global group of elders that might bring a little more sense or wisdom into global affairs. So we, Richard Branson and I, tried to get Nelson Mandela interested, and we pitched him, and then eventually he sort of picked up on it. And it was actually, he was saying that there were some, when he was negotiating with Hutus and Tutsis, that they said to him, everyone else we talk to has got an agenda, but we think you only want a good outcome for both sides, for all of us. So we trust you, and we trust you as an elder. So I think then he thought, okay, maybe there's something to this elder idea that might be useful, and the idea of maybe connecting idealism of young people with experience and some wisdom of older people might give you a different angle. So he selected a group then, and they've been carrying on. We've had Tutu as chair, we had Kofi Annan as chair, sadly lost him, and Mary Robinson is now chair, but they make interventions and work behind the scenes sometimes. So although, it would be great to see bigger influence, they definitely had made a difference in some places. So it's a wonderful project.
So what I meant to say is that you've been, being interested in a lot of fields, so the human fields, artistic fields, but how does it feel to get back into music? I mean, wasn't that the beginning a long time ago?
Yeah, no, it was, but it's great. I love that. I love writing still, and I love being with a band and making stuff. It doesn't always work. It takes time, and I'm sure I want to fix some lyrics, but it's underway.